smell pedicure and all of the tools that I use to do this. So as always, we're just going to get straight into the video, and the first thing I did was grab my drill, and this is the drill that I just use for my pedicures. I have a separate drill that I use for my manicures and my regular full sets. So this drill I'm going to be using, and I'm using a coarse bit, and I'm just using that to file off that clear gel polish top coat that I applied from the last time I did this client's toes. It still have a little bit of that gel polish, that clear gel polish. So I'm just using that drill bit to just drill off the gel polish only. I'm not using it to drill down the nail to debulk it yet. I'm just using it just to take that shine off. So whenever I do the pedicures, I like to hold the sides of the clients, like the skin part. I like to hold that down so that the drill doesn't accidentally cut the skin while I'm filing it down. And I am moving slow as I'm going through each toe, and I'm moving slow just so that I don't make a mistake and cut the client with the drill that I'm using to file down that clear top coat. And you have to be careful and make sure you file down your drill bit before using it, because sometimes it does come a little bit sharp. So you have to, the same way you season your file, you can season your drill bits just to make sure that it's really like just a smooth surface, so it's not sharp, so it doesn't accidentally cut your client. So I'm just going over to the places that I felt like I missed and it was still a little bit of that clear gel polish. And the next thing I'm doing is I'm taking my toenail clippers, and I like to use the curved one, and I'm just going to be cutting the client's toenails down because they have grown out since the last time that I did this client's toes. So I'm just cutting it down. And make sure before you cut the client's toenails that you do not cut the skin underneath, because sometimes some clients, they have toenails and the skin underneath it grows a little bit longer than other people. So you have to make sure you check underneath the nail to make sure that there's no skin under that nail before you clip that nail, so you don't accidentally cut your client. So as you can see, it's from the same angle, but I did change my lighting, so we're just going to continue on with cutting down this client's toenails. And this is a at-home pedicure, and this is also a dry pedicure. I didn't soak this client's toes inside of like the pedicure bowl with the soap and water. I didn't do all of that. The only thing that I'm doing is what you see here is a dry pedicure, because there's no water being used and no cuticle softener being used as well. So now I'm taking my fine filer, and I'm using this for the natural nail. And this is the one that you use on a natural nail because it's less harsh and it's not as coarse as the other one that you use for debulking the nails when you're using acrylic. So I'm just basically just reshaping the nails after I cut them down, and just making sure this is a straight line and that it's even going across. Again, you want to make sure you take your time. You don't want to rush and accidentally hurt your client using any of your tools. And I did have my client place their foot on top of this small stool, and I put a towel underneath just to catch the debris that's coming from the toes as I'm cleaning the toes. And you know, the cuticles and everything and the toenails that you're clipping, it just falls onto the towel, and I can just clean it up easily when I'm finished the client's toes. So now I'm going back in with my nail drill bit, and I'm going to be using the fine drill bit, and I'm going to be using that to just take off that top layer from the toenail. And make sure you're careful by the cuticle area, because that is a very sensitive area. And I'm just smoothing out that top layer surface. And I'm just using that fine drill bit to do that one. This is the one that's made for the natural nails, so it's really sensitive and it's not hard. So as you can see, every time I'm doing the nails, I like to hold the skin down on the sides of each toenail so that it's moved out of the way, so that when I'm drilling the nail, I want to just drill the nail only and not nick the skin or drill over the person's skin on their feet. So whatever I do, I'm just going to continue on doing with the following nail as well. So I'm just going to continue on just filing down that surface of the nail. And whenever I do these at home pedicures, it takes me maybe about an hour to do a full set, because I am still doing the same steps as a regular wet pedicure, but I'm just not using any water in my steps. But as you can see throughout the video, I'm going to be doing the same steps as you would with a regular pedicure. So the next thing I'm using my cuticle pusher, and I'm just pushing back that cuticle. And it's also scraping the side walls of the nails to bring all that dead skin forward. And it has a slight sharp edge at the end of this cuticle clipper where it just picks up the cuticle around the nail. And it pushes back that skin at the same time so that you can be able to get even closer to the cuticle to clip the dead skin that's around. So you do want to be careful with this tool as well. But it's safe on the skin. Like if I rub it across my finger or anything like that, it won't cut you because it's dull enough so it won't cut you, but it's sharp enough just to get into the cracks of the cuticle. So now I'm going back in with my drill, but I'm using this small, tiny drill bit. And I'm using this one just so I can get it right into the corners of the cuticles of the nails, of the toenails. So that's why I'm using this small one. Because after you push the cuticle back with the cuticle pusher, it's easier for this drill to get under that cuticle where, you know, like when you need a pedicure, there's, it looks like dead skin around the nail base. So it's easier for that drill to pick up that And when you use the fine drill bit, the one that's used for the natural nail, it doesn't get into the corners. So that's why I'm using this small drill bit, so I can be able to easily get into the corners of the nails just to bring out all that dead skin from around it so there's a clean, smooth surface. So like I said before, this video is repetitive, so I don't want to keep on saying the same thing, but as you watch, you can see that I'm doing the same thing. So the next thing I'm doing, I'm taking my nail brush and I'm just going to be brushing off that dead skin that we have cut from around the nails. Just brushing it off. And next I'm going in with my cuticle nipper. And the skin that is around the cuticle that has lifted up, that is dead skin, I'm going to be gently clipping that skin off and making sure I'm not clipping any of the client's nail that is not dead skin, because this is a sharp tool and you have to be very careful with how you use this tool, and be very careful that you're only clipping off the dead skin and not any part that would hurt the client in any type of way. So just take your time and eyeball it. Make sure you have proper lighting so you can see very clear what you're clipping before you clip. I have made the mistake of using this tool when I was doing a pedicure on myself and accidentally cut myself, but I have never cut a client, so I'm just taking my time because I can see a little bit better than when I'm looking at my own feet when I had done mine at home as well. So some of the nails didn't have any dead skin around that I needed to clip with the cuticle clippers, so I just skipped that nail if there wasn't any dead skin visible for me to clip. And the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go in with this tapered point drill bit, and this has a point at the end. So for the first drill that I used, the small tip, it was easier for me to get into the corners, yes, but the tapered one allows you to get a little bit deeper to pick up even more of the dead skin that is trapped under this nail. But again, take your time, and as you can see, I have drilled it before, but when I use this tool, look how much dead skin is pulling up that the other drill could not reach because this is pointed. And as I'm drilling, I am blowing the dead skin that's coming out from underneath the nail. I'm blowing it off of the nail so that I can be able to see properly how much I need to cut off, or if there's any more dead skin that is trapped under there that the drill did not reach before. Be careful not to go too deep when you're using this tool as well, because you don't want to accidentally stab your client. I just like to stay close to the surface, but just enough to get all that dead skin off. And I'm just going to be repeating the steps on each nail, so I would just chime in from time to time if I feel like there's anything that I need to say about this nails that I'm doing here. So usually when I do this client's nail, it should be about a good 2 to 3 weeks that the pedicure lasts until you can see like some of the skin growing out and it's looking like it just needs to be done over and the gel polish starts to trip. I'll say maybe about 3 weeks, because 2 weeks it still looks pretty good, but by the end of the 3 week mark, it starts to look like it needs to be done over. And you can tell by the first clip when we first started how it looks, how the toenail has grown out, and it just looks like a lot of dead skin around the cuticle area. It just needs to be cleaned up. And I could have done this set in a less amount of time that it took for me to complete. But when you are taking the time to set up your recording area to record a set, it does take a little while longer because you stop and get a picture and certain clips when you're recording, so that you can have either a thumbnail or just a before and after picture of the nails and good angles as well. So now I am spraying that alcohol, and I did wipe it with a brush to just the debris off of the nail. And I am finished doing this set of nails on this foot. So now I'm just adding my cuticle oil, and I'm going to be rubbing that in all over on that nail. And you can see a big difference from where we started at the beginning and how this foot has transformed. So now I'm getting started on the next foot, and I did start off by filing off that top clear gel coat. So I did file that off of camera, and then now I'm going to be taking my toenail clippers and I'm going to be trimming the nails. Again, when you're trimming someone's nails, you have to make sure that the skin is not grown as much as the length of the nail, because you don't want to make a mistake of cutting the client's skin underneath the nail. So just make sure you look under before you start to clip the nails. Taking my cuticle pusher, and I'm going to be pushing back the cuticles. As you can see, it's lifting up that dead skin and releasing it from the skin that it's attached to. That's what I'm trying to do here, so that when I go in after this step, it will be easier for me to get all that dead skin off the cuticle, because the cuticle pusher is lifting up that dead skin from the nail plate. If you have any questions about this pedicure that I have done, leave the questions down below in the comment section. Or if you have any comments about what you have seen here in this video today, or anything that I could have used to improve this set as well, you can let me know. I did want to see if I can invest in some type of foot scrub and get a pedicure spa tub, so that I can do the pedicures in the tub basically. So I did see some really good things on Amazon, and I think I'm going to invest and try out a couple of things, not too much, but just a couple of things, just to, as a beginner, to see how I like the products and if there's much of a difference, because different clients want different things, and some clients want you to scrub the bottom of their feet and their heels, you know, just to get all the dead skin and everything like that. But for now, for what I'm doing for this client, it's just doing a basic pedicure. And he doesn't have that dead skin under his feet or on his heels or anywhere around the toes on the bottom. So I didn't worry about scrubbing his feet because he doesn't have any dead skin there. So I was just more so focused on just trimming down the toes, cleaning up the cuticle area, and just clipping it down and just making it look presentable. As you can see, this is very easy to do. You can do this at home. If you have a studio, you can offer this service as well. It's very easy to do. Just start off by practice on friends and family, so you can get a lot of experience on how to work on an actual client rather than working on a mannequin, because of course it's way different working on a mannequin than it is on a real person. So this is the same foot that I was working on in the previous foot. We just switched angles, and we have moved our lighting so there's better lighting when I'm recording, and you can see more clear in the video of what I'm doing. glad that I got this small stool to let the client rest their foot upon, because before I would put a small hand towel on my lap and then let the client put their foot on my leg, and I would use a pedicure that way. But I felt like it's a little bit more professional than just putting it on a stool rather than on your mat. Even though when you go to the nail salon, sometimes when you're getting your nails painted, they are done in the chair, or if you get acrylic on your nail, they are done at the desk where you get your nails done. In some cases, if you're doing a pedicure, if you're doing the bubbles in the water, sometimes it's done there in that seat. So there is two different ways that you can do it at home, and the same way that they do it at the nail salon as well. But I just chose it to do this way, so I don't have it lean down as much. And
you change it?
The stool just elevates the foot, and it's a lot easier for me to work with rather than trying to hold the leg up and keep it steady, or them trying to keep it steady on my leg basically. So I'm taking that drill, that fine drill bit. This is the one for the natural nail, and I'm just filing the top layer of that nail down.
The Uncle Luke?
Just to
that beetle brown?
get to that top layer, just to make a smooth surface.
You know that?
Yeah.
I know this is getting close to that camera, but I'm not getting too close to hurt my palm. This is a natural drill, so this is the one that's very smooth and gentle to the natural nail.
You put flat piece, move it to back on the thing.
It's coming out good so far, and we are finished. I'm spraying it with my alcohol. I'm taking my nail brush, and I'm going to just be spraying it on my nail brush as well, and I'm going to be brushing off that dead skin and cuticle off of the nail. And as always, if you like what you see in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you're notified each and every time that I upload a new video. Stay tuned to other videos that I'm going to be uploading, and go check out some of my other videos that I have already posted. I like to do hair, makeup, and nails, so those three, really, you're going to be seeing those different things here on my channel. That looks really, really good. Look at both toes together. Looks really, really good. There's a big difference.